So we back. Super villain checked in. Round three. So I just want to reiterate some shit, right? First of all, let me say this. This ain't no hate speech, right? This is actually self-love. A lot of people really don't love themselves, and that's why they can't find happiness. Like, you can fake it as much as you think that you want to, but if you can't love yourself, how do you think anybody else can really love you? I mean, it kind of makes sense. So I feel like if you don't take the time to get to know who you are for real, and not live in a world someone else may have introduced, or a fake world you may have, made up, or I feel like if you actually get to know yourself, understand who the fuck you really are, and enjoy that shit, then you're really going to attract people who can actually appreciate that. Now, if you're being somebody else, if you're not being who you are, then who do you think you're attracting? Or if you don't know who you are, let me say that if you don't know who you are, right, and you just out here, just running, you just willy nilly, right? You just out there, right? Yeah, you may be attractive and shit. So yeah, you're gonna get different types of people, right? In your world, right? Eventually, especially if you ever live with somebody, you get to see who this person is. And if this person know who the fuck they are, but you don't know who you are, that's gonna be really evident. You got to figure that shit out, because people will tell you who they think you are, and it might be on, it might be spot on, it might be off, but you got to figure it out for yourself and actually deal with it. Though you can't run from what you've been told. You can't run from, like, I was told a lot of bullshit as a child, so I had to deal with that shit face to face. You can't. Anytime you try to put something on the back burner, eventually it's gonna get hot. It's gonna be cooking. It's gonna be cooking so much that you got to give it attention. So at some point, it doesn't matter how long. It could be 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago. However, you're gonna have to deal with that shit. Now, the sooner the better, though, because think about all the bullshit that you went through that you might not have had to go through if you was actually being who the fuck you really are, and not being who you think other people want you to be, or who you think that you should have been, because God don't make no mistakes. Now, as far as people go, yeah, we make mistakes all the time, but God is so perfect, they could be corrected. And I don't think we can fathom what that really means as far as perfect, because perfect is something that we will never achieve on an individual level. And shit, even if we came together somehow, and I mean worldwide, if we all could stop doing bullshit, which, that's not how people were built anyway. uh, if that was a possibility, I still don't think we would be perfect. We have all the resources that we need to sustain life. No one has to be, you know, poor. No one has to be hungry. But that's just not the world. Humans ain't built like that. And so what I'm saying is, at least on an individual level, if you can dig deep within yourself to have a conversation with yourself, look in the mirror at yourself, and try to, like I said, just deal with who the fuck you really are, instead of coming out into this world with a mask or a facade on. Now, if you're wearing a mask and you don't have to, that's what I'm talking about. Now, some people got to wear the mask. I understand that shit from being a black person, but I'm talking about the other mask. And you could be doing that shit with your family, you know, off the clock. I'm talking about people out here that have never really, trying to figure out how I want to say this, but they just never really truly been who the fuck they are. Just never been themselves. Just never said how they really feel. You know, never lived how they really wanted to live. It might have been under someone else's, like I said, tradition. It could have been someone else's fear. So someone, you know, a lot of adults put fear on their children. You know, and the child, you know, has to deal with that shit at some point. You know, you grow up and then you see, hey, life may be something a little different, but you got to deal. We all got to deal with something. And this slave mentality ass shit is what really gets on my nerves because I feel like we don't talk about that enough. We don't give it enough shine. We always want to talk about other bullshit that ain't got shit to do with nothing. So that's why we keep passing shit down, you know, generation from generation, to now our children saying shit that shouldn't even be in the conversation, shouldn't even be in their mindset. See, at this point, we should be teaching and not hurting. We should be dealing with our own bullshit. So therefore, when we have the child and we talk to the child, we're not putting stereotypical, I guess, just things that we should have gotten past. And I'm gonna say it like that because at the end of the day, not everything can be gotten past. I'm talking about the shit within ourselves that we allow to keep going. Niggas still haunted by shit that we could have gotten the fuck over. Other things, oh yeah, other things we may never get the fuck over. And we need to talk about that shit too. Most definitely. But right now, let's knock out some of this, you know, some of these other little categories, like I said about the your mama so black type bullshit. We got to let that shit go. That's dead. That shit ain't been funny. We need to kill all the negative bullshit that we say about ourselves and get the fuck back on code and start loving ourselves and start being ourselves. Because at the end of the day, the world is waiting on that shit. Right now, motherfuckers is laughing. Motherfuckers is laughing at your ass because you keep doing the same dumb shit. Keep buying the same fucking shoes over and over again. They just change one little colorway, you know. I mean, there's so much bullshit we do, man. See, I know motherfuckers gonna be mad about that shit, man. Because we got to be fresh. We got to be fresh than a motherfucker. We got to stay clean. We can't come out the crib without no... Man, listen, I done did all that bullshit, bro. That shit don't mean nothing, man. If you fucking alive and you got your health, it is worse if you ain't got your health. You out here doing that bullshit. Nigga, work on your motherfucking self and be happy about that. And it ain't that I don't understand that shit. Niggas ain't have shit when you go. I couldn't get a haircut at some point. So motherfuckers are talking shit about that. But guess what? We was children back then. We grown now. Let's get the fuck over that bullshit and stop passing that shit down to our kids. Making them do shit that ain't even necessary. We still spending money in the wrong fucking places. Too fucking much. We're not building shit worth talking about. And I ain't saying that ain't nothing out here going on, but we got to start somewhere. And I think it's with that mentality. That mentality got y'all out here still in the wrong places. Places that we shouldn't even be supporting no more. Like, I won't even fuck with a bitch if she shop at Target. And I know that shit sound fucked up to some of you, but to me, shit. Why? You still out here doing that shit? And you got that bullshit in your hair. Now listen, I'm gonna keep talking about that shit. Because if you changing the texture of your fucking hair and you don't think your regular God-given natural texture of your hair is anything but beautiful, something wrong with you. Straight up. That's something you need to work on. Be mad right now, fuck it, but think about it. If you can't walk around in this world natural and be your fucking self, something wrong with you. And that's just point fucking blank period. I know people gonna be pissed off. Fuck it. We got to start dealing with ourselves before anybody else can deal with us. No matter how much you want to run for who the fuck you are, you're gonna catch up with yourself. God gonna show you who the fuck you are. It's gonna be a moment in time in your life where no matter how, you could be 60, 70 years old. And it'll just happen. And you got to deal with it. But see, it'd probably be easier to deal with it in your younger days, depending on what, how it hits you. But that's what I'm trying to tell you. You can't escape who the fuck you are. Nobody can. And I ain't saying nobody better than nobody, because ain't nobody on this motherfucking planet ever was better than somebody else. And it won't never be somebody like that. And if you think you special, let me hear about it. Put it in the comments. Tell me why you think you better than somebody. Or why somebody better than you. You tell me that. Somebody that you know or knew in your lifetime. Why are you better than them? And it sounds even stupid to even tell somebody to say that shit, because you can't really think you better than somebody. But you do. A lot of people do. A lot of motherfuckers really think they better than somebody out here. Or they deserve something because they are them or some shit. And this other person don't deserve it. Nigga, if you don't get the fuck out of here with that dumbass, nigga, maybe they worked harder than you. Maybe they mastered some shit. Maybe like they say, the universe had it in for it's just their time. However you want to put it. But you can't be out here thinking you better than somebody or somebody better than you because they were born like this or you were born like... Man, if you don't get your dumb ass out of here with that bullshit, like, convince me why you better than somebody. That's what I want to hear. Because ain't nobody ever... God ain't create nobody better than somebody. But a lot of y'all think that shit. Secretly. Some of y'all say it out loud. Some of y'all live it. Some of y'all out here living like somebody better than you. Thinking, if I just need to be like, no, just be yourself. Just do you. See, because God be showing you stuff and you just don't need to be paying attention. You don't need to be paying no attention. You're looking at it the whole wrong way. It's all about perspective. I done had conversations with all different types of people, ignorant as fuck, and some actually had some real good points, and they'll put you in a different perspective, and that's what we need to do. We need to start having more conversations that could actually open up your mind. Stop being closed-minded, and stop thinking about yourself in a negative way, if that is you, or in a too fucking positive way, because at the end of the day, some of you motherfuckers, you really think you're special. You really think, really, like, literally believe you better than somebody. I wish somebody would put that shit in my comments. Tell me how you better than somebody. I got to know that one. Shit. That's some funny shit right there, though. Because oh my goodness. Really out here like that, ain't you? You okay. I've heard, younger, in my younger day, but, back then, like I said, you're still forming ideas and trying to figure out life, and you ain't really understand how the world move, and now you're older, and it's like, hold on, man, you still saying that? You really believe that? You think that's true? Okay. You know what? Prove it. And see, people think just because they have objects and they have accumulated certain amounts of things that makes them better. But it doesn't, because at any given time, anything can be taken away from you. Anything can be taken away from everybody at any given time. Like we don't even know how close we are to God saying, man, fuck this shit. I'm tired of this shit. Let's shake it up a little bit. Like, you don't know. It could be just one area of the world. It could be the whole population, right? Just reshifted, right? We don't know. It could be tomorrow. It could be now. You understand what I'm saying? You can't, no one can predict it, right? But we all out here living like, and when I say all, I don't mean all of us, but a lot of us out here living like we better than other people and really believe it. Putting your note, man, you really looking down on other people because of how you were born and how they were born? Because somebody told you, and you grown now, and you really still believe that. Like, you ain't never in your life had a conscience. And see, that's crazy, because I actually did think other people had conscience, or everybody had a conscience, because that's just how I thought. But then I had to realize that some people don't have a voice in their head that wakes them up when they say some dumb shit, or they about to do some dumb shit. Like, you about to do some real stupid ass shit you ain't supposed to be doing, and then something tell you like, hey man, come on now, really? Or however it would say it to you. See, some people don't have that. I didn't know that. I had to realize that. Everybody don't have that. So, yeah, people, are different. So and I feel like our differences is what makes the world perfect, because everybody shouldn't be the same. You may not have a conscience, and you may have a conscience that eats at you all day, because that's just how your life is. That's just how it is. There's so much shit going on that you're constantly, you know what I mean, being not ridiculed, but I'm gonna say reminded that this is that and that is this. And some people, you know, really believe that they are in control of other people and things that they really don't have control over. And if you really feel like that, if that's you, I would like to hear from you. Like, what do you control? Who do you have control over? And I know that there's people out there that are very subservient and mind fucked. I get it. But you really still don't have control of them, because at the end of the day, they could turn around and do whatever the fuck they want to do. They just might not know it yet or want to act on it yet. Some people may be smart enough to just wait on the perfect time to get what they got to get and get the hell on up out of there. But see, that's a whole nother different conversation. I'm going to take it back to this mental thing, because, again, we got to get off that shit. And I do want to hear in the comments, again, if you think you're better than somebody, or if you think somebody's better than you, I would like to know why. Please explain that to me. And if you believe God favors you, I would like to know why. Like, why does God favor you amongst other people? I just, it's funny to me when I hear that shit. So that's what I want to know. And for y'all still working on that slave mentality, man, we got to still keep it. We got to keep these conversations going. We're going to work on it. Because, again, this is self-love. I ain't telling y'all to hate nobody, and especially don't hate yourself. That's the main thing. If you're going to hate somebody, don't make it yourself, okay? Even if somebody done did something so fucked up to you, right? Don't internalize it no more. Let's let all that shit go. Let's let everything go, and let's let God shift us into something different. Because at the end of the day, we all in this shit together. And what you do out there affects me. What I do out there affects you in some certain type of way. And you never know how people can connect. So we out here together in this shit. Like I said, I'm promoting self-love, man. I don't care about that other shit. I don't care what they talking about in the news. I don't care what they talking about. Because in my individual life, when I'm walking around you all, I don't need that bullshit. So I'm not gonna give it to you. And like I said, we can coexist, even if we totally different from one another. I ain't got no fucking problem with that shit. I don't care where the hell you come from. Just don't be coming with that bullshit. So this the villain, man. I'm gonna say peace to each and every one of you. God loves each and every one of you. But you got to start loving yourself. Let's have that conversation. Subscribe, man. Because like I said, I'm about to keep it coming. And it's 2026, man. Let's do it. And I do love you. I don't give a fuck if you don't love me or yourself. We'll talk about it. Peace.